If you put China and Europe on the exact same scale, most people would probably think, yeah, China might hold its own against a fraction of Europe tops. But once you dive into the actual numbers, prepare to have your mind completely blown. It turns out that China, a single nation, has the massive scale and heavyweight punch to go toe-to-toe with, and in some areas even crush an entire continent. And here's exactly why. First off, let's talk about the sheer speed of development. It took Europe a solid 3 centuries, dating all the way back to the Great Industrial Revolution in the 18th century, to build the economic and infrastructure powerhouse you see today. But China? They slammed on the gas from absolute zero and covered that exact same ground in just 40 years flat. That's right, just 4 short decades to go from an agricultural nation to the global superpower they are right now. That kind of speed is literally like upgrading from a horse-drawn buggy straight to a bullet train in a single generation. But speed means absolutely nothing without scale, and this is where the numbers get truly insane. The entire population of Europe right now sits at around 740 million. Sounds like a lot, right? But China boasts over 1.4 billion people. That's almost double. And they aren't just massive in numbers, they're churning out brainpower on an industrial assembly line scale. Every single year, China pumps out about 11 million college grads. That's the equivalent to spawning a brand new state of Ohio every single year, where every single resident is holding a bachelor's degree. Right now, there are a staggering 45 million students enrolled in colleges and universities across China. Let's put that on the scale against actual European nations to see just how mind-boggling this gap really is. That 45 million student body? It's nearly the size of the entire population of Spain. It completely eclipses the total population of Poland. Heck, even if you took every single person living in the 4 wealthy Nordic countries, Norway, Denmark, Finland, and Sweden, and bundled them all together, you wouldn't even hit 30 million people. That still falls way short of the number of kids hitting the books in China right now. In other words, China literally houses a student nation the size of a mid-tier European country. That explains why their job market is so cutthroat it'll make your head spin. The sheer volume of grads pouring out every year is so massive that the government has to scramble to invent millions of new jobs just to absorb all that talent. But a massive population doesn't just provide endless manpower, it creates an absolute gold mine, the domestic market. Think about it. If European countries want to strike it rich, they're forced to export their goods because their own populations are just too small. But China? They don't even need to look past their own borders. Just selling to their own 1.4 billion citizens is enough to generate a cash flow equivalent to several European economies combined. And the one thing that turns this colossal scale and massive market into an ultimate weapon is unity. Over in Europe, with its 40+ countries, trying to pass a major policy is like hosting the worst HOA meeting in the world. Everyone's got an opinion, and the headaches from the endless bickering are real. But in China, it's a whole different ballgame. Everything operates on a top-down axis. The second a resolution gets the green light from the top, the system instantly kicks into gear, and 1 billion people start marching in the exact same direction. That absolute unity, combined with the sheer buying power of their domestic market, has catapulted China to a historic milestone. If we're just looking at the European Union, China has officially left them in the dust to become the second largest economy in the world, breathing right down America's neck. To put it simply, a single nation is now churning out the same heavyweight wealth as the entire continent of Europe combined. So, how exactly did they pull this off? Simple, by becoming the final boss of the global supply chain. If Europe is like a high-end boutique shopping street filled with exquisite goods, then China is the world's ultimate giant Walmart. It's a place where you can find literally everything. They control the whole process from A to Z, and they manufacture it at a price nobody else can touch. And they aren't just cranking out cheap plastic junk anymore. Today, China is producing 60% of the globe's steel, 70% of all smartphones, and holding a staggering 90% of the world's rare earth metals, the absolute lifeblood required to build every single piece of tech you use every single day. They've got factories so mind-numbingly huge that workers literally have to take shuttle buses just to get across the campus. And this brings us to a wildly ironic truth.
a tech trap that Europe has walked right into. You see, Europe is currently the loudest cheerleader for going green. They're passing strict laws, pushing to completely ban gas guzzlers, and pivoting hard to renewable energy. Sounds amazing on paper, right? But here's the million-dollar question. Where are they getting the hardware to actually pull this off? The answer is sitting right at the docks in China. As we speak, Chinese companies control a massive 70% of the global EV battery market and pump out 80% of the world's solar panels. It's almost comical. Europe is proudly gripping the steering wheel of their shiny, eco-friendly EV, but China is the one holding the battery pack. Without those made-in-China batteries, Europe's entire green revolution would pretty much grind to a screeching halt.
And the invasion doesn't stop at hardware. Just look at your phone, or the phone of any teenager across the US and Europe. While we pride ourselves on Silicon Valley, Europe is practically a ghost town on the foundational tech map. Instead, who is actually shaping the shopping and entertainment habits of Western youth? It's Shenzhen and Beijing. E-commerce juggernauts like Temu and Shein, or billion-user apps like TikTok, are absolutely crushing the traditional retail model. Europe is busy sitting in meeting rooms drafting laws to regulate tech, while China is the one actually creating it and capturing the entire user base. Bottom line, Europe might write the rulebook, but China owns the entire board. But let's be fair here. If China is the undisputed king of the mass market supply chain, Europe holds its own trump card: average income and sheer quality of life. Sure, China's overall economy is absolutely massive, but when you have to slice up that giant pie to feed 1.4 billion mouths, the whole picture completely flips 180 degrees. Right now, the average income for a Chinese citizen is hovering at a meager $13,000 a year. Meanwhile, over in Europe, even if their overall economic engine seems to be losing a little steam, their core standard of living is playing in a whole different league. The average European is taking home anywhere from $30,000 to $45,000 a year. And if you look at the Nordic countries or Switzerland, that number easily shatters the $80,000 mark, which goes toe-to-toe with incomes in some of the wealthiest US states. Bottom line, your average European is still sitting pretty, enjoying a premium quality of life that's easily 3 to 5 times higher than your average guy in China. So what's Europe's secret sauce? It comes down to the fact that they don't even bother playing the mass production game anymore. If China is a giant Walmart or a massive Amazon warehouse selling absolutely everything at bargain bin prices, then Europe is straight up Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills or Fifth Avenue in New York. They sell craftsmanship, absolute premium quality, and undeniably established prestige. Europe isn't wasting time assembling cheap smartphones because they hold the foundational tech that actually creates the brains of those very phones. Take the Dutch powerhouse ASML, for example. They are practically the only company on Earth capable of building the extreme ultraviolet machines needed to print the world's most advanced microchips. And Europe isn't trying to slash prices just to pump out millions of budget EVs either. Instead, they completely dominate the realm of peak precision engineering. Think high-performance German cars, ultra-complex Swiss watches, and cutting-edge French aerospace tech. And let's not forget about soft power. Just like we export Hollywood culture right here in the States, Europe exports an entire lifestyle. Their clout is something that's been distilled over hundreds of years. It's a vibe you simply can't copy and paste just by throwing cash around and frantically building mega factories for 40 years. Sure, Europe might be getting older, and yeah, they're tangled up in some messy geopolitical headaches, but at the end of the day, they're still that ridiculously wealthy, tough old guy kicking back at a sidewalk cafe in Paris, rocking a flawless mechanical watch, sipping an espresso, and confidently watching the rest of the world sweat it out in the rat race. But every giant has an Achilles heel. It's time to look at the dark side of the picture, the ticking time bombs quietly building up on both sides of the globe. Both China and Europe are staring down the exact same nightmare, an aging population. But the way they're experiencing it couldn't be more different. In Europe, the continent is aging in slow motion. It's basically turning into one massive Florida retirement community. Fewer young people, sure, but the seniors are sitting on fat pensions, kicking back, and enjoying top-tier healthcare. And China? They are aging much faster.
The fallout from their past one-child policy has sent their birth rate into an absolute free fall. Their fertility rate is currently hovering around 1.0 to 1.1, meaning the average mother is having just one child. That's even lower than Europe's most notoriously baby-shy nations. To put it bluntly, Europe might have fewer people, but they're packed with wealthy seniors. China, on the other hand, is sweating bullets trying to figure out how to support hundreds of millions of retirees before the country has even gotten rich. But wait, there's more. If Europe is being bogged down by exhausting red tape and environmental laws, China is sitting right on top of a ticking powder keg, a massive real estate bubble. Pouring insane amounts of cash into hyper-fast infrastructure has birthed actual ghost cities, sprawling urban megacomplexes packed with thousands of towering skyscrapers, but absolutely zero residents.
So who actually wins this heavyweight matchup? The truth is, there's no knockout victory here. If you're betting on blistering speed, sheer industrial muscle, and mind-blowing scale, China absolutely takes the crown. But if you value absolute prestige, foundational core tech, and unrivaled soft power, Europe still sits firmly on the throne. Thanks for tuning in to this story. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and share the video to support the channel. Catch you in the next one.